Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic was just announced, and alongside this announcement we just got our first teaser and our first look at the Mimic. And even more recently we just got our first look at the gameplay of Secret of the Mimic from a demo that fans were able to experience and enjoy. We also just got our first look at posters that might have revealed new animatronics that will also be featured in this game. So in this video I'm going to go over every single animatronic revealed from these posters, and I'm going to go over what the roles might look like throughout this game. So let's go over our first look at some of the mascots from Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, in PAX West 2024 they displayed a demo for Fnaf Secret of the Mimic alongside physical references and displays for this game. We even saw a physical display for the Mimic's design from Secret of the Mimic that gives us a full look of what this character will look like in this game. But we also got different posters that also appear in this game, like these posters of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie that we originally saw in Fnaf Security Breach. And we also saw many new posters that tease new animatronics that might appear in Secret of the Mimic. So let's go over these animatronics and what the role might be in this game, starting with this Be Yourself poster. Now immediately, this is an entirely different character that we haven't seen in the franchise yet, and it's not a standard animatronic that we've seen in the franchise either. It's instead a mascot. Mascots have already been a major part of this new era in the Fnaf franchise, especially in Ruin, as we saw different mascots of different animals in the room the Mimic was in. The Mimic even wears the lion mascot in the secret ending, so it's no surprise mascot animatronics will have a role in Fnaf Secret of the Mimic, and our first look at these mascots is this bee. This is really our first time we've seen a bee character in the franchise before, so it will be interesting to see how this character plays out in the actual game. And moving on, we also got our first look at 3 more animatronics and mascots. In this poster we see a mascot version of Mr. Hippo and 2 frog animatronics. I want to point out how the frogs are supposed to represent more of an animatronic feel, while the hippo is clearly supposed to be a mascot. And in the actual Secret of the Mimic demo, it was revealed that we saw schematics for this exact hippo mascot that connects it to this poster, meaning we might also see it in this game. We've never learned of any other animatronic related to Mr. Hippo or the mediocre melodies, so in this game we might learn if this mascot was the first version of Mr. Hippo or if it's a completely different animatronic. But before I go over each of these mascots' role in the actual game, let's finally go over one last poster that revealed an animatronic we might have already seen in the books. With this poster we see a character with multiple arms, and people have compared them to a spider or octopus, but in the books we have already gotten a look at a spider animatronic, which is actually just the Mimic. In the 7th epilogue, we learn that the Mimic morphs itself into an abomination of twisted metal, described as a mass of metal joints and wires that vaguely resembles a mutated spider. So what if, because of this animatronic or mascot, that's why the Mimic was able to mutate itself into this spider, and again this new animatronics are teased to that. Which brings me to my next point. Will these mascots be suits that the Mimic will wear throughout the game, or will they be functioning animatronics that the player will also have to watch out for? Well, I think it will be a mix of both. I think at the start of the game these mascots will be actual animatronics that the player will have to run away from and defeat, just like Gregory had to run away and defeat animatronics in Security Breach. And each time the player defeats one of these mascots, the Mimic will use the remaining mascot as a suit that the player will then have to face again, just like the Mimic wore these mascot suits in Ruin. This way, not only will we learn more about these animatronics and their origins, but we'll also learn how they relate to the Mimic and how the Mimic became this infamous villain known from the novels and from Ruin. I also just quickly want to go over this poster of Foxy and the possibility of him showing up in Secret of the Mimic. Now before this point, it was assumed that Foxy was created alongside the other 3 main animatronics and that they were all introduced in the same location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. But this is the only poster of one of the main animatronics at this demo, insinuating that Foxy was created much earlier than many of us have thought. So what if we see the very first version of Foxy in Fnaf Secret of the Mimic, where at this point he is just an endoskeleton, or he could even be less than that. Maybe in the toy factory where Secret of the Mimic takes place, not only will we see schematics for Foxy like we did for the hippo mascot, but we'll also see schematics for the 3 main animatronics, which will just be another way this game is connected to the rest of the franchise. Now there are a few posters at this demo that weren't really focused on the new characters or animatronics. They were more focused on the toy factory itself, which is why I didn't include them in this video. So let me know if I should go over them in a future video. But with all that said, in Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, some new animatronics that we might possibly see include a bee mascot, a hippo mascot, 2 frog animatronics, and finally an animatronic with multiple arms and legs that might actually be the Mimic. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video where I go over posters from Secret of the Mimic and what they might mean for the future of this game. But what do you guys think? What do these posters mean, and will we see these animatronics in Fnaf Secret of the Mimic? So make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you guys so much for watching.